Italy is a country in Europe that looks like the shape of a boot. In Italy, people like to cook with fresh ingredients that come from close to where they live. Many Italian families spend a lot of time cooking big meals that they can all enjoy together. There are many types of Italian food, including pasta and pizza. Pizza is made by putting toppings such as cheese, meat and vegetables all over a piece of dough covered in sauce. Now Eddie has washed his hands, put his apron on, and he's ready to cook.
I'm making an olive pizza for my friends.
And he's invited round Ian, Danielle and Amelia to taste one of the main ingredients before they come round for an Italian meal later. What's that?
Grape or a blueberry?
Well, it's not a grape. So what do you think it is?
It looks like an olive.
It is an olive.
It's quite bad.
Oh dear.
It does not taste nice.
Do you think everyone will like Eddie's pizza? It has got olives in it.
It's quite disgusting.
So, as well as olives, you'll also need sugar, salt, water, dried yeast, strong white bread flour, tinned plum tomatoes, olive oil, black pepper and mozzarella cheese. Come on, Eddie, tell us what's first.
We get the bowl on here. First, I'm going to measure my flour.
That's really important, Eddie.
My mum taught me how to cook this pizza.
To make the dough, Eddie's adding dried yeast and a pinch of salt. You'll need to keep the salt away from the yeast.
Now we get the sugar. The yeast likes the sugar, so the yeast will eat that.
The yeast will make the dough rise so it becomes much bigger. What's next?
Then get 2 spoons of oil and put it in the water.
Great. Now pour that in.
And then we need to mix it around with this.
That looks really sticky. Go on, mix it all together.
We're making a dough for the pizza. Think I need to get my hands in?
Yes, you do, Eddie. Squeeze it together. Yeah, just like that.
Get a flour, sprinkle it around there. Get that. Put it on here.
And that flour will stop it sticking to the board. What's that?
What's this? Flour? Oh.
It's rosemary.
Oh.
Oh, no. They don't seem all that keen on the taste of fresh rosemary.
I don't like it.
Let's see if Charlotte can change their minds.
No. That tastes gross. I don't really want it anymore.
Because rosemary is an important ingredient in her recipe. As well as fresh rosemary, you will need salt, tomatoes, vegetable oil, potatoes, fresh parsley, black pepper, tinned corned beef, and eggs.
First, I'm going to wash my potatoes. I'm just giving them a pat dry. Now I'm going to paste the potatoes, and it helps them cook all the way through. Dad, can you put these in the oven, please?
Now ask a grown-up to cook them for you. While they're cooking, take some peeled, uncooked potato pieces and grate them.
My nan from Ireland taught me to make boxty. I've got lots of family who live in Ireland.
When the potatoes from earlier have baked in the oven, ask a grown-up to take them out.
Just leave the potatoes here to cool down.
Okay.
When the oven-baked potatoes have cooled, twist them and scoop out the insides with a spoon. Pop them into a plastic food bag and mash with your hands.
This is really fun, but you have loads of fun doing this.
Yeah, it does look fun.
I'm putting the mashed potato with the grated potato.
Add a pinch of salt and pepper.
Now I'm going to mix it. Now it's time for my special ingredient.
And you know what that is, don't you? It's rosemary. Rosemary is a plant with lots of small green leaves that look like little needles. Rosemary is mostly used as a herb, which can add flavour to both sweet and savoury recipes. Rosemary has a very pleasant smell and is often used in the making of perfumes and cosmetics. Rosemary attracts bees, and gardeners plant it to encourage them into their gardens. Germany is a very large country in the middle of Europe. Many people live in Germany. It also has lots of forests, rivers, and beautiful mountains. German people often have their main meal of the day at lunchtime and a smaller meal in the evenings. Germany is famous for cheese and sausages. In fact, it is said that there are over 1,000 types of German sausage. Ben's washed his hands, put on his apron, and he's ready to cook.
I am making a special German Zwiebelkuchen for my friends.
And he's invited Eliza, Harry, and Charlie to taste a special ingredient before they come round for a delicious German meal later. What's that?
I don't know what it is.
They're caraway seeds.
It smells a bit spicy.
You should only taste a small amount for this special taste test.
I don't really like it.
They're not at all sure about the taste of the caraway seeds.
I don't like it.
Can Ben's cooking change their minds?
If I had this in my meal or my dinner, I wouldn't try it.
Because caraway seeds are an important ingredient in his German Zwiebelkuchen. As well as caraway seeds, you will need vegetable oil, eggs, water, double cream, German ham, grated Emmental cheese, chives, onion, quark, and puff pastry.
A Zwiebelkuchen is a onion tart.
Yummy!
So now I'm going to put some onions into this bowl.
Add some vegetable oil and water. Now mix it around, Ben. Then ask a grown-up to put it in the oven for you.
Dad!
That's it.
I'm going to get some quark. Quark is just like a yoghurt. We need 100 grams.
That's it.
Now we need 50 grams of cream.
That's just right.
We have to mix the cream and the quark together. This whisk is called a balloon whisk.
Whisk it, whisk it.
I'm going to get an egg and crack it into this pot.
Check no shell has got in there. And add it to your bowl, then do the same with another egg.
So now I'm going to wipe my hands with the tissue.
Good idea.
I'm going to get these green chives. Then I'm going to cut them in small pieces.
Careful with those scissors. Now add half the chives to your bowl.
Mix the chives and the eggs together.
Scotland is part of the UK, along with England, Wales and Northern Ireland. Scotland's hills are good for grazing animals and the weather is perfect for growing lots of different types of food. The winters there are cold, so many years ago people would eat lots of foods like porridge, stews and soups to keep them warm. Haggis is a famous Scottish food. It's an unusual type of savoury pudding. On special occasions in Scotland, bagpipes are played as the cooked haggis is taken to the table where it's eaten with neeps and tatties. Connor has washed his hands, put on his apron, and he's ready to cook.
I am going to be making vegetarian haggis with neeps and tatties for my friends.
And he's invited Cooper, Amy, and Alonso to taste a special ingredient before they come round for a Scottish meal later. What's that?
A piece of grass, maybe.
It's not grass.
It tastes quite plain. I won't eat any more of it. Nah, it's disgusting.
It's fresh coriander.
I would like to try it if I had it in a meal.
That's good, but not everyone seems to like it. Let's see if Connor can change their minds, because coriander is one of the ingredients in his vegetarian haggis. As well as coriander, you'll need butter, mushrooms, milk, chopped hazelnuts, potatoes, ground nutmeg, stock powder, a carrot, tinned kidney beans, water, porridge oats, black pepper, spring onions, a neep, which is also known as a swede, and some salt. What's first, Connor?
What I am going to be doing is I am going to be mixing the stock with the water. And then you would mix it.
Now, time to drain your kidney beans and tip them onto a plate. What's next?
And we are going to be mashing the beans. It is really fun mashing the beans, and I mean really fun. So now that's properly mashed, what we need to do is pour the kidney beans into the big bowl.
Now tear up the mushrooms.
It's very healthy to put in every single part of the mushroom.
And carefully grate a carrot.
So, some people think that haggis is a wee animal that runs about the Highlands, but you can tell it's not.
You're quite right there, Connor. Make sure you collect all your gratings with a fork or a spoon.
After you grate your carrot, the carrot goes in the bowl.
Now add the chopped hazelnuts, porridge oats, ground nutmeg, and some black pepper. The Midlands is a region in the middle of England, which is how it got its name. Some people think that Bakewell Tart was first made in the Midlands. Bakewell Tart is a dessert that lots of families make at home, and there are many different stories about where the original recipe comes from. Like Orson's, most families have their own special way of making Bakewell Tart, and will mix and match ingredients to make it just the way they like it. Orson has washed his hands, put his apron on, and he's ready to cook.
Now I'm ready to make my Bakewell Tart for my friends.
And he's invited Cody, Olivia, and Joshua to taste one of the ingredients before they come round for a very special treat later on. What's that?
I think it's a lemon.
It is a lemon, Olivia.
It's very sour.
Yes, sour and sharp.
Don't want any more of it. Yeah, sour. I don't like it.
Let's see if Orson can change their minds, because lemon is an important ingredient in Bakewell Tart. As well as lemon, you'll need raspberry jam, flaked almonds, ready-made short crust pastry, ground almonds, salted butter, caster sugar, an egg, and self-raising flour. First, Orson needs to oil his baking tin.
Dip the brush in the oil. You wipe it round and round and round on the edges and on the insides, so it doesn't stick when we put the dough in. Now you get the flour and you get it on the board.
That'll stop the pastry sticking to it.
Then you get the rolling pin and just do a little roll on the board. So the dough can't stick onto the rolling pin.
What a great idea.
Get the dough off the tray. Then roll it with the rolling pin to try and make a circle.
Now roll it out nice and thin, Orson. Oh, and make sure it's bigger than your baking tin. Now carefully fold up the pastry.
Put it in the tin.
And unfold it like this. Then just push it into the tin.
I'm getting the bits off that's too much.
That's really clever, Orson.
Then we'll get the fork and do holes in it really gently so the pastry can cook nicely. And then you get the dough and put it in the fridge.
Now you need to add butter to caster sugar.
Start mixing.